welcome to the show. And we're your hosts, Cynthia
and Janessa.
Okay, so it's Black History Month. Well, winding down. It's the end of February, and we really wanted to talk about Black History Month and the history that you are creating. And so our theme for today is what history are you creating and how to be a positive part of the future Black history. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and with that, I just wanted to read something I wrote on my blog, which is lovelylinkyinspirations.wordpress.com. Check it out, my little plug there. And it says, it's Black History Month. Be a positive part of our future Black history. Whose history are you creating? While we celebrate the strong Black women and men that paved the way, let us continue to build a positive future history beginning with ourselves. What history will you leave behind? Will the positive intellectuals who spoke up for freedom and rights be happy with the Black woman or man you are currently? There is no time like the present. Pay homage by being a woman or man they fought for us to be. So just some little words of encouragement there. And so the question, what history are you creating? What history am I creating? Mm-hmm. And how can we be a positive part of the future Black history? Because really, we're present, we're here currently, but we will be history sometime down the line. So that's what we mean when we say future Black history. And not just positive, but whose history are you creating? Are you creating your own, mm-hmm. or living off someone else's legacy? We have all these iconic people that we can look up to, mm-hmm. like Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, and they will forever live on in our history. And we currently have people who love the Obamas, people who love Oprah Winfrey, mm-hmm. people who love Gabby Douglas, and all these upcoming younger people who will definitely make history within our Black history. And I can't forget Usain Bolt, because I'm Jamaican, coming up as well, who's paving the way for mm-hmm. that. But we have a responsibility as well to help create Black history, and even just as people history. So we wanted to use Princesses and Ladies mantra, and that is rule, conquer, and empower. And Janessa, elaborate on that for us.
So Princesses and Ladies uses the terms rule, conquer, and empower, saying that you need to rule your world, to conquer your obstacles, and empower yourselves and others to kind of put it full, like a full mm-hmm. life.
Yeah, the full cycle, right? Yeah. Because really, we want girls and women and everyone to really rule their world, because before you can conquer anything, you have to understand mm-hmm. who you are, and in making your mistakes, how to learn from those, how to become a full person within yourself, understanding who you are and what you stand for. And once you rule your world, you can go ahead and go out in the world to conquer obstacles, to know to turn left instead of right, and if you fall down, to get back up, or how to climb the mountain even after the 20th time. Is really about conquering obstacles, because we're always going to meet obstacles, and we encourage people, and we want people to know that obstacles will come, mm-hmm. but not to give up in those obstacles. And then upon ruling your world and conquering your obstacles, then you can empower others, because really that's what Princess and Ladies is all about, is empowering women and girls. And once you can conquer your own obstacles, mm-hmm. and be who you are and strong in who you are, you can help to empower others. And we feel as Black women, mm-hmm. young women, older women, that's one way we can build our future Black history, is to be strong within ourselves as Black women, and to go ahead when those obstacles come up, to go ahead and conquer those, to figure out ways to do that, to get help when we need help, and then to build up other women and girls around us to say, let's build this future together. What do you say mm-hmm. about that, Janessa?
Yeah, I agree with you that it all starts with you and how you perceive yourself, and then you have to go out into the world, because you can't give out of something that's not completely full. Mm-hmm. So you have to really know who you are, like you were saying, and then once you tackle everything, then everyone's gonna attention's gonna be on you. And it's going to be easier for you to reach people.
Right, yeah. So, you know, to know that building a future Black history, it's not just on an individual thing. It takes all of us building together, you know, empowering each other to really see each other, because sometimes I'm truly very disappointed and I think about all the Rosa Parks. And when I say all the Rosa Parks, I'm talking about all the unsung heroes that we don't even know their names, but we know they sat on those buses. How would they feel today if they look at us currently, at our Black communities and the things that some of us, not all of us, are doing? You know, how will they perceive that for all that they fought for, literally being beaten, literally being put in jail for us to be able to vote and to be able to speak, for both of us to open our mouth as women of color, you know, and to speak, and for someone to actually listen to us. And I think that we need to empower each other. You know, if we see someone not really doing what they're supposed to, is to go to them. I picked up a little girl from school last week, and this little girl, she's in the 3rd grade, and she just burst out the F word. You know, a friend was showing her something and she burst it out. And some people would walk away and not say anything. And I just really addressed her. I said, "Young lady, what did you say?" I didn't just say you shouldn't say that, that was rude. I said young lady because I wanted her to realize that you are a young lady. I said, "Young lady, what's your name?" Because I wanted to address her by her name. She told me her name. I said, "What grade are you in?" And with that, you know, she said, "I'm sorry." I said, "Yes, because you know you shouldn't be saying that. What's a better way you could say that?" And she was looking at me and she said, "I'm so sorry." And that's what we need to do. That's empowering another person. Because the first reaction may have been, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah.
You know, and we walk off and we tell our kids they shouldn't say that, and we go on social media and say we heard this, and you know, where we could have said, "What did you say?" and you know, talk to her in a rude manner, which she would have turned around and be defensive, but addressing her as young lady, and she was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that," you know, because just addressing her in that way, she kind of stood up like, "Okay, I'm sorry." And you know, so that's what we're really talking about. We need to empower each other instead of really tearing each other down. When we see someone within our community that's doing something that they really shouldn't do, is to really help them, to really call them, even if they're not currently the person they're supposed to call them out as that person, young lady, young men. That's really even boys when they're behaving. I'm like, young men. And you know, you get a different response from them than if you would have said boy or, you know, something else. You know, it's to really speak that positivity into them. So yeah, I think that's really how we can create a good future Black history, is to start speaking those positive words even when we do not see it, to let our boys and girls know that yes, you can, because they live sometimes in society, and not just Black neighborhoods, everywhere. People live in societies where they're told that they cannot, but especially in the Black community, they cannot, they can't be, you can only be this or you can only be that. So they become, right? Don't you think? Tell me about it, Janessa, as a young person. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I agree with what you said. I see it a lot at school. Or we were just talking about this on Saturday with my group, and we were talking about how we were talking with the library, and they were saying how they have this issue where they have the kids coming in after school, but they talk loud, and the library is always telling them to quiet down. But we were suggesting to them, why don't you give them something to do, make them feel like they have something, like give them a purpose, versus just telling them, be quiet, it's the library. You really have to make them feel as if they're equal to you, even though they're being loud and they're whatever, but you have to treat them as you would want to be treated.
Yeah, because making them a part, make them feel like, okay, the library is open to me, but I'm a part of the decision making. I'm a part of this library family, because if they help to plan activities,
or put books away,
or something, be a a physical part of that, to be a voice in that, they will have so much more pride in it than just saying it's open, let me go, you know, and they're just there, you know, even though there's stuff for them to do. Yes, it's really like saying, to put a title on them.
To make them,
yeah. So anyhow, well, that's it.
Yeah.
So, Yes, happy Black History Month to each and every one of you out there. You know, let not it just be February that we talk about the Black men and women who paved the way. Let us continue to remember them, but also remember that the road needs to be repaved. We continuously need to pave that road, because if you look outside on the physical road, you drive on it, you keep driving on it, it's going to start getting some potholes. It's going to start getting, we need to repave it. And so we can't continuously live on the legacy that's gone before us. We have to create new legacies and build on what's already there, instead of just driving on it and using it up. Okay, so help to create our future Black history by ruling your world, conquering your obstacles, and empowering yourself and others. Happy Black History Month, everyone. And remember to like, share, and
subscribe.
Thank you.